Chintamani Prakarasadmasu Kalpavriksha Lakshabhritesu Surabhirabhipalayantam.
This cosmic manifestation, the material world, is also your body. This total lump of matter is agitated by your potent energy known as Kala Shakti, and thus the three modes of material nature are manifested. You awaken from the bed of Shesha Ananta, and from your navel a small transcendental seed is generated. And from this seed, it is from this seed that the lotus flower of the gigantic universe is manifested, exactly as a banyan tree grows from a small seed. Purport. The three different forms of Mahavishnu, namely Karandakshayi Vishnu, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, who are the origin of creation and maintenance, are gradually being described. From Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu is generated, and from Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, Kshirodakshayi Vishnu gradually expands. Thus, Mahavishnu is the original cause of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, and from Garbhodakshayi Vishnu comes the lotus flower from which Brahma is manifested. Thus, the original cause of everything is Vishnu, and consequently the cosmic manifestation is not different from Vishnu. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, wherein Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarva prapatate. Quote, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. End quote. Garbhodakshayi Vishnu is an expansion of Karandakshayi Vishnu, who is an expansion of Shankarshan. In this way, Krishna is the ultimate cause of all causes, sarva karana karanam. The conclusion is that both the material world and the spiritual world are considered to be the body of the Supreme Lord. We can understand that the material body is caused by the spiritual body and is therefore an expansion of the spiritual body. Thus, when one takes up spiritual activities, one's entire material body is spiritualized. Similarly, in this material world, when the Krishna consciousness movement expands, the entire material world becomes spiritualized. As long as we do not realize this, we live in the material world. But when we are fully Krishna conscious, we live not in the material world, but in the spiritual world. Translation. From that great lotus flower, Brahma was generated, but Brahma certainly could see nothing but the lotus. Therefore, thinking you to be outside, Brahma dove into the water and attempted to find the source of the lotus for 100 years. He could find no trace of you, however, for when a seed fructifies, the original seed cannot be seen. Purport. This is a description of the cosmic manifestation. The development of the cosmic manifestation is like the fructification of a seed. When cotton is transformed into a thread, the cotton is no longer visible, and when the thread is woven into cloth, the thread is no longer visible. Similarly, it is perfectly correct that when the seed that is generated from the navel of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu became manifested as a cosmic creation, one could no longer understand where the cause of the cosmic manifestation is. Modern scientists have tried to explain the origin of creation by a chunk theory, but no one can explain how such a chunk might have burst. The Vedic literature, however, explains clearly that the total material energy was agitated by the three modes of material nature because of the glance of the Supreme Lord. In other words, in terms of the chunk theory, the bursting of the chunk was caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, one must accept the Supreme Cause, Lord Vishnu, as the cause of all causes. Text 35. Lord Brahma, who is situated as Atma Yoni, having been born without a mother, was struck with wonder. Thus, he took shelter of the lotus flower, and when he had been purified after undergoing severe austerities for many hundreds of years, he could see that the cause of all causes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was spread throughout his own body and senses, just as aroma, although very subtle, is perceived in the earth. Purport. Here, the statement of self-realization, Aham Brahmasmi, which is interpreted by the Mayavad philosophy to mean, quote, I am the Supreme Lord, end quote, is explained. The Supreme Lord is the original seed of everything. Janmadhyasya yataha aham sarvasya prabhava mata sarvam pravartate. Thus, the Supreme Lord extends everywhere, even throughout our bodies, because our bodies are made of material energy, which is the Lord's separated energy. One should realize that since the Supreme Lord spreads throughout one's body, and since the individual soul is a part of the Supreme Lord, everything is Brahman. Sarvam Kalavidam Brahma. This realization was achieved by Lord Brahma after he was purified, and it was possible for everyone. When one is completely in knowledge of Aham Brahmasmi, he thinks, quote, I am part of the Supreme Lord. My body is made of his material energy, and therefore I have no separate existence. Yet, although the Supreme Lord is spread everywhere, he is different from me, end quote. This is the philosophy of Chintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. The example given in this regard is that of the aroma within the earth. In the earth, there are aromas and colors, but one cannot see them. Actually, find that when flowers grow from the earth, they appear with different colors and aromas, which they have certainly gathered from the earth, although in the earth we cannot see them. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, spreads throughout one's body and soul, although we cannot see him. An intelligent man, however, can see the Supreme Lord existing everywhere. Adantarasta paramanu chayantarastam. The Lord is within the universe and within the atom by his different energies. This is the real vision of the Supreme Lord for the intelligent man. Brahma, the first created being, became the most intelligent person by his tapasya, austerity, and thus he came to this realization. Thus, we must therefore take all knowledge from Brahma, who became perfect by his tapasya. Text 36. Lord Brahma could then see you possessing thousands and thousands of faces, feet, heads, hands, thighs, noses, ears, and eyes. You were very nicely dressed, being decorated and bedecked with varieties of ornaments and weapons. Seeing you in the form of Lord Vishnu, your symptoms and form being transcendental, your legs extending from the lower planets, Lord Brahma achieved transcendental bliss. Purport. Lord Brahma, being completely pure, could see the original form of the Lord as Vishnu, having many thousands of faces and forms. This process is called self-realization. Genuine self-realization consists of not perceiving the impersonal effulgence of the Lord, but seeing face to face the transcendental form of the Lord. As distinctly mentioned here, Lord Brahma saw the Supreme Lord as Mahapurusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna also saw Krishna in the same way. Therefore he told the Lord, Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavam Purusham Sashratam Divyam. Quote, you are the Supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth, and the eternal divine person. End quote. The Lord is Parama Purusha, the supreme form, Purusham Shashvatam. He is everlastingly the supreme enjoyer. It is not that the impersonal Brahman assumes a form. On the contrary, the impersonal Brahman effulgence is an emanation from the supreme form of the Lord. Upon being purified, Brahma could see the supreme form of the Lord. The impersonal Brahman cannot have heads, noses, ears, hands, and legs. This is not possible, for these are attributes of the Lord's form. The word Maya Mayam means spiritual knowledge. This is explained by Madhvacharya, Maya Mayam Jnana Sarupam. The word Maya Mayam, describing the Lord's form, should not be taken to mean illusion. Rather, the Lord's form is factual, and seeing this form is the result of perfect knowledge. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Bhavanam Jamanamante Jnanamam Prapadyate. The word Jnanamavam refers to one who is perfect in knowledge. Such a person can see the personality of Godhead, and therefore he surrenders unto the Lord. The Lord's being symptomized by a face, nose, and ears, and so on, is eternal. Without such a form, no one can be blissful. The Lord, however, is Satchitananda Vigraha, as stated in the Shastra, Ishvara Parakrishna Satchitananda Vigraha. When one is in perfect transcendental bliss, he can see the Supreme Lord's form, Vigraha. In this regard, Srila Madhvacharya says, Gandhakya Devata Yadvat Prativim Vyapyati Stati Evam Vyaptam Jagat Vishnum Brahmata Stam Dadarshaha. Lord Brahma saw that as aromas and colors spread throughout the earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead pervades the cosmic manifestation in a subtle form. Text 37. My dear Lord, when you appear as Hayagriva with the head of a horse, you killed two demons known as Madhu and Kaitaba, which were full of the modes of passion and ignorance. Then you delivered the Vedic knowledge to Lord Brahma. For this reason, all the great saints accept your forms as transcendental and tinged by the material qualities. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in his transcendental form is always ready to give protection to his devotees. As mentioned herein, the Lord in the form of Hayagriva killed two demons named Madhu and Kaitaba when they attacked Lord Brahma. Modern demons think that there was no life in the beginning of creation, but from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam we understand that the first living creature created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead was Lord Brahma, who is full of Vedic understanding. Unfortunately, those entrusted to distributing Vedic knowledge, such as the devotees engaged in spreading Krishna consciousness, may sometimes be attacked by demons, but they must rest assured that demonic attacks will not be able to harm them, for the Lord is always prepared to give them protection. The Vedas provide the knowledge by which we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedascha savaraham eva vedya. The devotees of the Lord are always ready to spread knowledge by which one may understand the Lord through Krishna consciousness. But the demons, being unable to understand the Supreme Lord, are full of ignorance and passion. Thus the Lord, whose form is transcendental, is always ready to kill the demons. By culturing the mode of goodness, one can understand the position of this transcendental Lord and how the Lord is always prepared to remove all obstacles on the path of understanding him. In summary, whenever the Lord incarnates, he appears in his original transcendental form. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4.7, Yada yada hi dharmasya galani bhavati bharata abhutanama dharmasya tadatmanam shrijamiham. Quote, whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. End quote. It is simply foolish to think of the Lord as being originally impersonal, but accepting a material body when he appears as a personal incarnation. Whenever the Lord appears, he appears in his original transcendental form, which is spiritual and blissful. But unintelligent men, such as the Mayavadis, cannot understand the transcendental form of the Lord, and therefore the Lord chastises them by saying, Avajananti ma mudha tanasim tanam ashrita. Quote, fools deride me when I descend in the human form. End quote. Whenever the Lord appears, whether as a fish, a tortoise, a hog, or any other form, one should understand that he maintains his transcendental position, that his only business, as stated here, is hatva, to kill the demons. The Lord appears in order to protect the devotees and kill the demons. Pritanaya saranam vinashaya traduskitam. Since the demons are always ready to oppose Vedic civilization, they are sure to be killed by the transcendental form of the Lord. Text 38. In this way, my Lord, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, an animal, a great saint, a demigod, a fish, or a tortoise, thus maintaining the entire creation in different planetary systems and killing the demonic principles. According to the age, O my Lord, you protect the principles of religion. In the age of Kali, however, you do not assert yourself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore you are known as Tri-Yuga, or the Lord who appears in 3 yugas. Purport. As the Lord appeared just to maintain Lord Brahma from the attack of Madhu and Kaitaba, he also appeared to protect the great devotee Prahlāda Maharaj. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to protect the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. There are 4 yugas, or millenniums, Satya, Treta, Dvapara, and Kali. In all the yugas but Kali Yuga, the Lord appears in various incarnations and asserts himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But although Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appears in Kali Yuga, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he never asserted himself as such. On the contrary, whenever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was addressed as being as good as Krishna, he blocked his ears with his hands, denying his identity with Krishna, because he was playing the part of a devotee. Lord Chaitanya knew that in Kali Yuga there would be many bogus incarnations pretending to be God, and therefore he avoided asserting himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, in many Vedic literatures, especially in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11.532, Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sango Pangashtra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtanam Prayaryantihi Sumedasa. In Kali Yuga, intelligent men worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is always accompanied by his associates such as Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivas. The entire Krishna consciousness movement is based on the principles of the Sankirtan movements inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, anyone who tries to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of the Sankirtan movement knows everything perfectly. He is Somedas, a person with substantial intelligence.